So Young speak, and I know he's going to do a great job.
How y'all doing today? Good evening. My name is Gabriel Pendleton, and I want y'all to bear with me. It's a touching story, but bear with me, okay? I am an 11th grade student at Anacostia High School and a proud student at the House DC. It was November 2017 when I first came to the house. I remember because it was the day my electricity got cut off. My grandmother was struggling to scrape up money to pay the bills on time. She was the only person in my life that could depend on for food. Unfortunately, for me some nights, she just didn't have it. When I was 4, my mother died from a sickness and left me with my grandparents. My grandparents always did the best they could, but since my grandfather was the only one to come, it made the job twice as hard. My grandfather made sure the lights stayed on, that we had heat and running water. Everything else had to wait. And on June 29th, 2017, my biggest fear became my reality. My grandfather died from alcohol abuse. I was there. He took his last breath in my arms. That day, we lost everything. Everything took a turn for the worse. There was no one to take care of my grandmother, so I had to. There was no one to pay the bills. There was no one to buy me uniforms, and there certainly wasn't any hope. I just wanted to give up, but I couldn't. My grandmother was counting on me. The utilities one by one was turned off. First the small things, then the lights, finally the gas. November 2017, I walked into the doors of the House DC. At this point, it had been months of having no electricity or gas. When I came to the house, I was hungry and cold. I was looking for somewhere I could hang out, get warm, get mine off of things for a while. All the kids always talked about the House DC, but I always was a loner and stayed to myself. But at this point, I was desperate, so I decided to give it a try. My first few months at the house, I remained that way. However, it was hard staying to myself when the staff just wouldn't leave me alone. So, the staff made me feel comfortable, and after a while, I was able to open up. At our Mother's Day event at the house, I finally found the strength to tell my story, and it was a touching story. I got through it. I wanted to publicly thank my grandmother for her strength, and she made it through the entire winter in the freezing cold, dark apartment, and she was on dialysis, which made it tougher. She was much stronger than I ever could imagine. After the staff heard my story, they first got on me for not telling them sooner, and then immediately came to my apartment and surprised my grandma with a check. She nearly had a heart attack. I came to the House DC for a meal, but little did I know I would get a family. Daquan has been like a big brother for me, and Chef always makes sure I have an extra plate to take home. Keith is always cracking jokes, making me laugh, and Chris does life sessions that help me to make the right choices. Miss Brittany always makes sure I'm okay and that I have everything I need, like a mother I never had. This is my family, and I love and appreciate them very much. Since being a student at the House DC, my life took a turn for the better. I have uniforms for school, I have a place I can hang out, and I have meals every night. The house keeps me safe from the streets and out of trouble. At the house, I learned about Christ. I grew a relationship with God. I am confident that I will one day be a successful adult. My life isn't perfect. Me and my grandmother still have our struggles. But now I have faith. And now I have people I can depend on. People I can trust. I thank God for the House DC. I don't know where I'd be without them. Thank you.